Good morning, YouTubers. Thank you for joining me. I am Applied Knowledge. Please be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on all the social media handles that I have given you in the description below. If you're an artist looking for music, um, I have leases and exclusive rights available at www.appliedknowledgeproduction.com. There you will also find some informational videos and photo gallery and different things like that. Or if you need to contact me, there's a form on there to do so. Uh, so today I just kind of wanted to talk about um, just a feeling that I had. So yesterday I just kind of was going through, um, just kind of checking my thoughts and checking my emotions, and uh, I constantly have these moments where it feels like I'm not making any progress at all. And sorry about that. Um, And yeah, so yesterday was just a little more overwhelming. And yeah, I just needed to know if anybody else felt that same way because, um, sometimes I feel like there's uh, times where I give it all I got. No, rather I feel like I don't feel like I have enough of those inspired moments. Let's just put it like that. And it feels like I'm always just working, and it's like, all right, well, did I do anything? Like, it's it there's so the gap, um I feel like the gap is just so wide, but the from working and celebrating or feeling good about an experience, like that moment where it's like, oh, somebody finally realizes something that I've done, or um, maybe a blessing comes, and or that break, that I've been looking for months or years, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like that gap is just so wide, where I feel like, um I felt like things should have clicked a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? So I just really was searching for some inspiration, and I came across this article I want to look at, and it's called "Feel Like You're Not Making Progress, You're Hitting Home Runs," and this is by Tama Kieves. I probably just butchered her name, but I'll drop it in the description. And this is a Huffington Post, or yeah, HuffPost. Um, so basically, I just typed into Google, it doesn't really feel like I'm making any progress. And then I think this was the first article that showed up, so I just clicked on it and said, all right, let me give it a shot, see if I can get some inspiration. And so the opening uh, statement is, do you feel like you're not making any progress? You are hitting more home runs than you know, but you may be paying attention to cockeyed information. And I'd hate for you to limit who you are meant to be based on some garbled perceptions instead of the divine design within you. So, and then she goes on to say, every day I work with coaching clients involved with different stages of career transition, entrepreneurship, and taking their brightest creative visions into the world. And this much I can tell you, no one is always doing great. I've never met anyone living their authentic expression who feels as though they are constantly getting ahead. But everyone has a moment when life just works, and that's the gold I hunt for. The moments the truth prevails. And uh, as I went on, she was basically, uh, talking about the struggle that she had, and it was with public speaking. And there's a section in here where, if I can find it, okay, here it is. So she says, let me offer you an example of this. To become a professional speaker, I had to get past my limiting beliefs. I'd had a lot of fear. For years, I'd be panting at the thought of certain kinds of speaking, not in excitement, mind you, but more like your average house cat crammed into a carrier speeding down the highway. You see this speck set, my friend. So think of a speck on a wood table, as she pointed at some pock mark on the wooden table. That's your fear about speaking. So this little itty bitty speck was her fear about speaking when she's got this whole table. You know what I'm saying? So think of that. So think of something in your life that you're afraid of, first of all, um and compare that to something else. So yeah, let's just use the table. So try to find something like a speck of dirt on a table and relate that to that fear that is in you, and then look at the entire table. You're that entire table, and then that speck is just that little bit of fear that's holding you back. Well, and that's just the beginning of it. And then she just goes on to say that um people a lot of people really look at the just the hard work, and they don't take a lot of time to see the things that they did do. So it's like, okay, trying to remember those moments that you were on fire, and um just going back and looking at the celebrations that you had or maybe that you didn't have. So it comes a point where you should look back and just be like, all right, or just take the time to look back and just be like, okay, I completed this. I remember when I was feeling good, you know what I'm saying? And, look where I'm at today. So those moments, those small moments of acknowledgement, just to keep your spirits up, because there are going to come those times where nobody might not say shit to you for years. Nobody might not say anything. They might not acknowledge you until you get to the point of um, success, depending on what you define success to be. And, that's just the way it is. A lot of people just don't care until you get to that point. Then people are wondering, oh, damn, now, oh, yeah. And it's just like that. It sucks. It feels lonely. It feels depressing, but that's really what it is. So, as individuals, we need to acknowledge ourselves a little bit more, just for our own purpose and for our own inspiration, just to be able to look back and say, damn, you know, I remember this feeling. And uh, you might get that feeling. You know what I'm saying? You might find that inspiration again, just looking back at that moment where you were like, damn, that was the shit right there. You know what I'm saying? It has no choice. If it's something good and it's something that really touched you, that really was that moment of inspiration in your life, then I believe that you can actually get that feeling, that same feeling back, if you talk about it enough and you believe in that. Because you might be trying to do it from a depressing state, like something might be going on in your life, and you might be trying to look back at something that actually made you feel good, but you don't necessarily believe that. So it's like you got to really trick your mind into believing that, all right, this was really a good time for me. And you got to keep telling yourself, like, man, damn, and just keep looking at other moments, you know what I'm saying, to really grab that feeling and pull it back into your life, because you could be stuck in a hole, and, what I'm saying, you can't really get out of it unless you believe that something can actually be better for you. So it's all about just training your mind and building your mind, you know what I'm saying? But there are still going to be days where it's just like, it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? And, some days you might not be able to get out that slump. And I've definitely had those days. So I'm not saying that it 110% always works, because it doesn't. But for the most part, just trying to get past fear and just, you know, that feeling of, I don't want to call it insecurity, but just making the feeling of no progress hasn't been made in such a long time, it's really not true. And if you really think about it, it isn't true. If you're taking steps every single day, and you've developed a formula, and developed a routine, and you're following that plan, and your mind is set to, I gotta get better, and I'm gonna get better, and I'm doing gonna do any and everything. I'm open minded, and I'm willing to take new steps and do new things. Then you're actually doing more than what you think you are. You could be years ahead of everybody else that you're around, but it doesn't feel like it, because everybody else is doing the same thing, and you're seeing progress off of what's normally being done. You know what I'm saying? So you could be trying to open a business, and you could be learning the basics to business and plowing through all of that, and while everybody else is working a job. And I'm not saying that one is better than the other, but while everybody else is working a job and getting their paycheck, they got a new car, they got their own apartment, they got their new house, and they got a nice family, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it is. It's like, damn, you start to feel like, well, shit, am I getting any damn where? And it's like, yes, you are. You're building something new. You're doing something different, and that's, to you, that might be a pioneering thing. So you got to be aware of that and just try to stay inspired. Because people are gonna talk. They definitely will, and they'll try to bring you down, and they'll try to convince you that what you're doing, you should probably be doing something else, because that's kind of the thing that I've been feeling lately. And it's like, I had to realize that I'm doing something completely different than anybody in my immediate family, and they don't get it, and it's okay. I am completely okay with that now. At first, I was just like, man, what the fuck, like, y'all, like, what don't you understand? But it's to the point now where it's like, you know what, it's okay, because um, I get it. But one thing that has always, that I have questioned is like, and it kind of gets on my nerves. It's like, how can a person tell you that you can't do something if they have never even done it, like, ever in their life? So I just want you to think about that question every time somebody says something to you that they have never even done. Just ask yourself, how the hell do they know that this is not going to work if they've never attempted ever in their life? They're probably bullshitting you. And I'm not saying that you got to go disrespect the person, but just think about how funny that is. Like, that shit don't make no sense, do it. But so I just leave you with that today. Just, if you really feel like you haven't made any progress, believe me, you probably are way further than what you think you are. And so just try to use that as a moment of inspiration. So thank you for joining me. I am Applied Knowledge. What's today? Tuesday. I hope you have a great day. I got a lot of exciting news. I got a son. He'll be 1 next week, so I'm excited about that. Just trying to get him walking. And other than that, hasn't been a lot going on in my life other than just this feeling, just trying to express myself in these videos and the things that I go through. And you know, uh, yeah. Other than that, nothing's been going on. Oh yeah, I attended a music conference, the Between the Waves. I only was able to do 1 day, so I missed out on a lot of good information. But I did get something from that, and it's like, I'm starting to see a pattern now. And the advice I've been getting is just, build your catalog and just take your time, be patient, because it's gonna take a long time. And that's just it. There's no need. I've 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 really been subtly hearing life say, don't even worry about any competition. And it's like, even though it hasn't directly said that, that's the feeling that I'm getting. It's just like, don't worry about nothing else. Just you take your time, build your craft. And ultimately, that's what I've been wanting to do. Is just, sometimes I feel like I am so far behind in that uh, nobody has really bought my beats. Like, I have been making beats for about 6 years, 6.5 years. And when I mean I have sold at least 15 beats, I mean that. 15, no more than 20. I mean that. And it's like, feeling that is hard. Now, a part of that is me, because my marketing is terrible. So I have definitely been taking classes and different things like that. But the fact of the matter is that I know my style is just completely different. So I kind of relate myself to, like, Pharrell. I'm not saying my style is like his, but just somebody who is completely different from the modern day sound. And it's like, okay, when you're doing something completely different, it's always going to be harder. You know what I'm saying? I had this quote, and I live by this. And it's from this book. Uh, and he said, if you want to be rich, look at what everyone else is doing and do the exact opposite. I live by that every single day. I'll probably never forget it, and I'm going to continue to live by that until the day I die. And I believe that 110%, because the people that do that, they get rich. They find out what everybody else is doing. Okay, everybody's going that way. There must be something over here. I'm going to go check that out. and years later they find success, and now everybody's transitioned like, oh shit, well, look what he did, let's go over here and follow him. And it's like, boom, you know what I mean? So, and everybody can do it, it's just, people don't choose to. But yeah, it is what it is. I save that for another video. But yeah, I really thank y'all for joining me. Oh, I also just made a new Snapchat. I will put that in the description below. But thank you, thank you, thank you for all your support and all your sharing, your liking. I just really appreciate it. You guys keep me going. Um, and yeah, I'm gonna keep doing this regardless. I know I haven't been on here consistently and every day like I used to be, but like I said, I don't want to just spit out, bullshit. I really want authentic content and to be able to pinpoint what it is you guys want and need, and different things like that. So, I just kind of, whatever I feel like is going to be valuable for that day, then I just try to do it. Um, so yeah, that's all I have. Hope you guys have a great day. Hope you have a great week, and hope you use this as a moment of inspiration. So thank you.